Hey, what's up everyone? Today I want to go over a real quick video because it seems like a decent amount of comments on this, so I want to answer it and hopefully can help you out. So like I said, well, I'll explain. I get quite a few comments on where I get my parts. Well, there's a couple different ways. Now, I want you to remember, I do this out of my home. Do not have my own shop. This is a hobby of mine. Been doing it for a long time. I did used to work for a shop. I'll never do that again. And I like my day job, so this is just kind of like a stress reliever because, well, we don't do something for so long and just kind of throw away that skill. At least I hope you don't. I don't. Anyway, the question is, where do I get my parts? Well, there's a couple different ways. Now, coming from the old job, I could easily just look it up in one of their little systems. If they are a dealer of whatever they are a dealer of, they usually have a lot of resources available to them. I don't do that. So for instance, this one needs a new trigger. Now, there's a couple ways you could go about this. One, if you're lucky, there's a part number printed on it. Go to Google, type in that part number, find a website that provides it. Steels sometimes can be hard. Other stuff, unless it's like recently I worked on a Barretto tiller, and those are pretty heavy duty. That's a little hard, but in general, your majority of your home motor equipment, you're going to be able to buy it no problem. Certain things are going to be a problem. We'll get into that next. So, for instance, this is the piece that broke off the trigger on this particular steel. And look, there's a part number. Now, if you did not find a part number and you're kind of up you know what creek, well, simmer down there, partner. You're actually not. The next thing you're going to want to do is find the model number of the actual machine. Now, in general, the model can be found a lot of places. Like steels are pretty easy. They will have like KM 130, for instance, on this one or whatnot, and that's technically not the model, but if you were to type that in online, you can get a parts diagram, and more likely than not, it will be right. Sometimes it is serial number specific because they will change the model a little bit over the course of time. So you're going to want to find the serial number if prompted. If it's not, don't worry. And to be honest, majority of that time, unless it looks drastically different, a lot of the parts are the same. They're just a little nuances different. Majority are going to be the same parts. So if you can't find one that's exactly like yours, and you can find one that's a little newer, a little older, you could risk it and probably be fine, but no, there is a risk that your part could be wrong. Having said that, where do you go? There's a couple websites I like going to. eReplacementParts.com, Jack Small Engine. Those are excellent resources for locating parts diagrams. And I'm going to apologize in advance for this, but I'm just going to show you on my phone. Yet again, I apologize, but here we go. So this is what we have. This is just a Toro, for instance. So you go down and they will give you options of what you want. Let's say I want to find something for the bag, or excuse me, the fuel tank. Look, you have all the diagram there. Hopefully it's not too bad. And you just find whatever piece you need and you scroll down and you find it. It's pretty easy. I know you iPhone users are saying he's that color of box, but yes, I am. I don't need to have a dumbed down phone. Anyway, so you can either buy from that website, which I would recommend. You did use their service. You are using something that they don't have to provide, but they do for you, and have it shipped to you. It's generally will take a little bit longer, but if time is not a problem, I would highly recommend doing that. Sometimes you can get it cheaper or faster, or cheaper and faster, if you were to go online, type in that model number to your local favorite website of eBay or Amazon, and they will find aftermarket as well as original equipment. Sometimes that's a little sketchy. Majority of the time I like using the actual website. The shipping sometimes isn't free, but you do get legit parts. Unless it's something simple or I need it really fast, I usually don't use Amazon or eBay. Stuff like air filters or bulk items, yeah, I'll buy those on Amazon. Don't you worry. But specific parts, no, I'm not going to be doing that. For instance, this is a FJ180V. It's a Kawasaki. It had a blown up piston. I took it apart and I found out that actually, I don't know why it blew up. The cylinder wall is good, and this is a very capable motor. So I'm going to be replacing, I already have a new crank. I'm going to be ordering a new rod, piston, and piston rings. And guess where I found it? On Jack Small Engines. They're very, very, very similar. They're both excellent. Their customer service is great. I'm not getting paid to say that, but I'm just saying I would highly recommend doing that. Sometimes they do not have what you need. It's kind of sad when that happens, but it will happen. When that happens, usually you take the part number, because generally they will have at least the number, whether or not the it's discontinued or whatever the case is, they'll still have the part number. And you can go online and try to find if other places have it. Now, sometimes you don't even have the part number. What do you do? Well, for instance, I have a video on replacing a Hilti piston cylinder. Now, for whatever reason, almost no website I found really carried a whole lot of those. I think it was a DSH or DHS or I don't know, 700. And eventually what I did is I went to Google, typed it in piston cylinder kit, and I found a company that makes an aftermarket one. You have to be real careful on those, but if you can look at the website, make sure it's good to go. You want to make sure it's secure. You want to make sure that it seems like it's legit. It's not just selling one thing. It's not, stuff like that. Go ahead and order it. And in my situation, worked out pretty well. So that works a lot of the time for harder to find items. What happens when, let's say for instance, this shaft on this steel goes bad? I've replaced a few of them. I put one of them online. And if you were to go online, I found one online, but it was used kind of. The person bought it, it was the wrong size. They're selling it on eBay. What do you do next? Well, the best thing you can do is you can call your local dealer. Go to Google, type in steel, Husqvarna, whatever the company is or brand is, and find a dealer that's close to you. A lot of them will have multiple brands, especially if they do small engine work or rental work. And ask them, can I order a part? Majority of the time, they'll ask you, do you want me to put it in for you, or do you want just the part? Say you just want the part. And at that point, it's pretty easy. They will order for you and get it to you. That shaft is a perfect example. That particular one I did not have to replace. However, it has happened in the past. So your local dealer is a very good resource as well. So as a recap, what do? Well, we look at the model number, whether it be on the machine itself. Sometimes there's a sticker or something or whatnot. We look up a parts diagram. If we were not lucky enough to find a part number printed on the actual part, which, not gonna lie, happens almost no times. look at the parts diagram, find the part you're looking for, Google it if you don't want to order on that website, go to Amazon, type in the part number, find it on there, whatever you want to do. If it's next to impossible to find, Google what you need, see if there's an individual company that might sell a good aftermarket one, or call around to your local dealers and see if they have a good part that they can order for you, because they will have access to some things that you just plain don't. So I hope this put a little insight on that. If you're ever wondering where I get all my parts, just know it takes a little bit of time because you do have to research it. But once you do, if you take a little extra care and attention to detail, you can ensure you always get the right part every time. And I like to go through places that have good customer service, because there is times when either I will make a mistake or shipping will make a mistake. So sending it back and getting a new one hassle-free is really high in my book. So that's why I like using the locations I told you. Amazon is definitely one of them as well, especially for order on Prime. If you don't have Prime, I would highly suggest getting Prime. Other than that, that's about it. If you have any questions on anything else, leave a comment below. If you have any particular parts that you're trying to find, you can't really find, I can guarantee I can find anything, but I'll definitely help you out. Leave a comment below. Follow me on Small Engine 101 on Instagram, and I'll catch you on the next video. You have a good day.